So I'm gonna do another one of my unglam videos today. I have had a really rough few hours, and I'm entertaining this idea that is pretty pervasive around me. Um, the idea kind of correlating with something that my mom used to say constantly. When you laugh, the world laughs with you, but when you cry alone. Yesterday, I was sitting on my steps, and I have this little friend in my neighborhood who comes to visit me, and I'm usually up, and I just wasn't up yesterday, and I told her I was feeling really sad, um, and she left. She proceeded to leave. I was hanging out with a friend last night, and it became really, really obvious to me that I'm not acceptable. I'm not acceptable to people if I'm not 100% up and cheery and happy and putting on a smiley face 100% of the time. And I think that it is humanly impossible to be up all the time, and nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to show it. We all just want to be constantly putting our quote unquote best foot forward. Um, and the friend that I was with last night, it made me wonder, how completely out of touch he is with his feelings. That he's completely out of touch with his feelings. I'm in my feelings and crying and sad and lonely, and he's called me a baby. He said, "Oh, you didn't get what you want, so you're just going to cry about it." I've been really thinking a lot about coins, and one side of the coin and the other side of the coin, the yin, the yang, the positive, the negative. Even enlightened people must have sad days or times. Even Jesus on the cross said, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?" And I was thinking about him carrying the cross, and nobody wanted to help him. Nobody wanted to help him carry the cross. I know, I was just thinking about this idea of unconditional love. Unconditional love for myself, unconditional love for other people, being able to go in their dark side, being able to hold them when they're sad. Their tears are not always about you, and their tears are not always sadness, because sometimes I cry because something's beautiful. People get so uncomfortable with me just like crying, and I cry a lot for a lot of different reasons. I feel like I'm sort of like E.T. I live in my heart. I'm just constantly in my heart. And so things just happen and they make me sad. And it makes me sad that people are mistreated on our planet. The contrast that Esther Hicks is always talking about, the contrast between really living in the love of God, which is completely amazing, and what I see in our society, and the way that we treat each other. And I wanted to go a little bit more specifically into the idea of relationships, romantic relationships, because I have taken care of my children when they were sick. A lot of times, when our babies cry, we go over and we hold them. We hold our baby when our baby cries. We can rock our baby, but when our wife cries, we can't handle it. We can't hold her. We can't embrace her in a weak spot. I don't know. It just seems to me that as a community of people who are on this planet together, that we should be able to be there for each other in good times and in bad. Yeah, I felt very angry. I felt very sad for my son today because I mean, I'm just so in my emotions that I even when I'm angry, my anger is just seeming to be over the top, and it's really scary. And my son is so precious and innocent, like he just didn't even know what to do, and I have to apologize, and it's not about him. And maybe there are times where I just need to go in the forest and be alone. Anyway, it's just a thought I'm having. And I'm gonna put this out on my YouTube, even if it's not popular. I just think, because I've been espousing this idea, and I really believe in it. If Martin Luther King is going to get up and he's going to give a speech, he's going to give a speech about having a dream. And maybe this isn't the time when I'm feeling so incredibly low but I just think it's part of life. It's part of it that nobody wants to talk about. Nobody wants to talk about this. And it's not that I'm mentally ill. I'm not mentally ill because I'm living in my emotions. It makes people really uncomfortable when somebody is living authentically. It makes other people very uncomfortable when somebody's just really authentic in who they are and as many given moments as they can be. It's unsettling. It's really upsetting. But I do believe that it's the only way to peace and healing is to learn to go through it, because you can't go around it, you can't go under it, you can't go over it. You have to go through it. You have to learn how to feel your feelings and be okay and love your anger, love your sadness, love your despair, love your joy. I mean, some feelings supposedly feel good and some feelings supposedly feel bad. And I have to admit that I do feel infinitely better when I am meditating and just really feeling the presence of God, because I believe the presence of God is open to us all the time. It's just us that pinches it off. The love of God is available to us always, and we are the ones that pinch it off. And so on that note, I'm going to go try to unpinch myself off from the love of God.